Hello, friends. It's Courtney with Courtney Harris Coaching, and I am on live today for day 3 of my Facebook Live challenge, and I'm so excited to be here again. So, today's challenge is to do a review, to give an honest review. And when I thought about all the things that I'd like to review, I was kind of like thinking about food and chocolate and kombucha. And other than that, I eat a lot of vegetables. So I didn't feel that inspired to give a review because I mostly have good things to say. And I think that's something I kept coming up against when I thought about giving a review is that I mostly just want to share all of the amazing things or why I'd recommend a product or something that I like to use. And I didn't have a lot of critical, I guess, kind of feedback to share. But then I remembered the book that I'm reading, and I really wanted to share with you my review of this book. So the book is I Thought It Was Just Me, But It Isn't by Brené Brown. And I do have to make the disclaimer that, of course, I have not completely finished the book. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the book, but I'm obsessed, I'm loving it, and I think about it every single day. So the reason I'm reviewing it is because it's powerful to me to recognize the fact that even though I haven't finished the book and I'm super in progress with it, I'm actually thinking about this book every day. I'm thinking about the ways that, so the book is about shame, shame triggers, and building resistance or resilience rather to shame. And I don't think that in our culture we talk a lot about what shame is or how shame shows up for us. And just in reading this book and reading like 150 or 170 pages, my thinking every single day has literally been transformed. There's ways that I recognize that I am feeling shame, and I actually have the word for it, the name for it. And that's why I'm finding this book so powerful. I think you maybe heard me talk about before the power of naming. And this is something that I actually learned in my writer's workshop. This is where I heard the phrase, the power of naming. But it's important that as intelligent, critical thinking beings, we can put a name to the sensations that we feel, the struggles that we're facing, the gifts that we have. But being able to name them and label them is actually a source of power. So it's a way that we can become familiar with the parts of ourselves or the things that we're experiencing in an authentic way where we actually can face them. So to be able to say that a feeling that I'm having or a sensation I'm experiencing is coming from shame is a huge step towards empowerment. And one thing that's super awesome about this book is that there's actually some guided questions that help you analyze the way that shame is showing up in your life. And I was actually going to try to look at one of those right now. So let me see if I can resituate here. So I had the page and then I lost it. So I'm going to look for it real quick. But the book gives some guidance about how we can look at what shame is. Oh, and now I'm, of course, here it is. Struggling to find it here for a second. But one of the first activities after we get a clear definition. Hi, Charlotte. Glad to see you. I'm just doing a review right now on the book that I'm currently reading. It's Brené Brown's I Thought It Was Just Me, But It Isn't. And I'm sharing a little review about it right now. So this book it's given me a name for sensations that I've been having and feelings that I've been having and the ways that shame is actually showing up in my life. And it's not doing so in a way that causes me to experience greater shame. It's doing so in a way that causes me to feel greater freedom. So what I was just getting into is that this is on page 70. There's a reflection piece, and it says, basically there's closed statements. So it gives a sentence starter, and then you answer them. I physically feel shame in my blank. It feels like blank. I know I'm in shame when. If I could taste shame, it would taste like blank. If I could smell shame, it would smell like blank. If I could touch shame, it would feel like blank. So if you have heard me talk before, I do talk a lot about senses and our sensory input. I do talk about the ways that our emotions show up for us in our body and in our mind and in our behaviors. So the way that Brene Brown is getting us to actually think about the way shame shows up totally resonates with me. It really sticks out to me, and it's something that I already kind of have a foundation for. However, as I started to say before, I don't think that our culture discusses shame very much because we're so ashamed, right? So why would we talk about something that makes us feel so icky and like we want to hide? And for me, shame is like almost a form of self-hatred, of like not accepting myself or feeling truly embarrassed at my core for who I am or something that I've done. And it doesn't necessarily come because I truly think I'm bad or that I made a mistake. It's sometimes because I think others will not accept me or that others are judging the experience that I'm having. And so this book has just helped me see so much more clearly the way that shame shows up for me personally. And I'm so excited because the ways that I can talk about my experience in knowing and owning my shame is going to help me so much in the ways that I interact with my clients. Because now I have this lens when my clients share a story, when they share about a time when they're having, they might explain what shame sounds like, and I might be able to help them name it or label it. And that's really exciting to me. So to be able to have a new tool for empowerment is the greatest gift. And that's the work that we're doing here. That's why we show up, right? To become our best selves and to keep getting the tools to improve ourselves. So in order to make this a balanced review, I guess there could be something that I can give as a, critical feedback or some constructive criticism. And overall, I would just say that sometimes I wish the chapters were broken up a little bit more. And I would like a little bit, I like infographics and I like charts. So it would be great for me if there were a bit more kind of images or graphics. The ones that she has are helpful, but I'd like a little bit more of those, especially when we're reading something that it's not exactly data dense. She doesn't go into tons of numbers, but she is sharing case studies and she is analyzing them. There is some terminology. I find it very user-friendly overall, but graphics would really help me grasp it a little more. So that's my main constructive criticism for Brene Brown for her next book. I know she actually just has a brand new book and she's coming to Austin, Texas. I think it's like next month, and I'm not going to be able to make it. I have an appointment that night. But I think she's on tour in the United States. So anybody here in the U.S., let me know if you've read her other books. Let me know if you're going to see her on tour while she's in the U.S. this time. But yeah, I'm so excited to share my review with you all today. If you have read this book, so again, it's Brene Brown's I Thought It Was Just Me, but It Isn't. If you've read it, comment below. Let me know what you think about it, what you've learned, and how you find this showing up for you. And if you have not read it, no worries. I'm still excited for you all to share below. Why don't you tell me, what are you currently reading and what is your review of it? So comment below with the title, the author, and your review, and I can't wait to hear from y'all. So thanks for jumping on. Good to see you, Charlotte, and have a great week. Happy Hump Day.